Hey everyone, this is Pastor Bob, and this is Life with Luke number 71. Think about a building that fills you with awe. It's probably someplace that's big, beautiful, and important, like maybe a building in Washington, D.C., or a magnificent cathedral, or something like that. Maybe the Colosseum in Rome. Jesus' disciples were in Jerusalem at the temple, and they were filled with awe. The temple there was huge and magnificent, almost beyond description. They were telling Jesus how impressed they were, and Jesus said, "You see this temple? Not one stone is going to be left upon another." And within a couple of short decades, by AD 70, that temple was gone. The Romans came in and tore it all down. It was almost unimaginable, not just because the temple was so big and so beautiful, but because of how important it was and what it meant to God's people, Israel. The temple was the place in the world where heaven and earth kissed, where they overlapped, where the building and the place itself bore witness to the fact that God was present in the world. It was a place to worship. It was a place to approach God. It was a place to have sins atoned for. It was a place that represented everything that was dear and important about Israel's relationship with God and God's relationship with the world. It was all coming down. And in Luke 21, as we talked about this last weekend, Jesus talks about the future. He talks about the coming destruction of the temple and the fall of Jerusalem in AD 70. He also talks about the end of the world. And it's like he lines them up, and he sees the fall of Jerusalem here and the end of the world here. And it's like gun sights. If you focus on the one that's near, the one that's far becomes blurry. If you focus on the one that's far, the one that's near becomes blurry. And it's hard to tell exactly which one Jesus is talking about, because he's talking about them both at the same time. And this is a hard, and scholars agree, a really difficult, confusing chapter. But in it, Jesus is affirming something really important. He's saying it is not for God's people to figure out the timeline as if this is some algebra problem or puzzle or blueprint to figure out, about guessing exactly when things are going to happen and how they're going to happen and whether they're going to look like we think they are. Jesus said, don't do that. That's not the point. I'm not giving you a puzzle to figure out. What I'm showing you is that even though the temple is coming down as the place where God dwells among people, God's people in the world are where he chooses to dwell. They are the place where people can connect with the God of Israel, the place where people can come to know how to worship, how to sacrifice our lives, how to have our sin dealt with, how to know God's grandeur and beauty and purpose for the whole world. That's such an honor that he gives us. He says, you, my people, you are my temple. You are the place where I choose to dwell. You are the location that I'm going to work through to reach this world, even as things seem to be spinning out of control and just going crazy in the world. Jesus says, keep your eyes on me, because you are the place that I am going to reveal myself. So friends, be encouraged by that message and keep joining us on our journey through the Gospel of Luke. Have a great week.